Okay, guys, so I hope that you have caught up with the first two videos. This is the third video where I am looking at the Oregon Trail, the wagon train wreck. And today is the time we begin to choose our own trail. So in video one, I introduced you to the Oregon Trail book with all the pictures here of our path. And then I read this introduction. It was sideways, so, sorry, but that was the case, and I wasn't going to read, so I just figure you guys could all figure that one out. Not a big deal. And then here is where we are now. It's up to you. What will you choose? Let's blaze a trail to Oregon City. So I am going to begin this story here in Gardner Junction on April 27th, 1855. And at the end of this reading today, you're going to have a choice to make in the comments. And based on the majority of the comments I get is what I will continue with tomorrow. So I'm putting that out there. You got to listen. Starts on page 11. Rise and shine. You roll over and groan. It's just before dawn at Gardner Junction, where the Oregon Trail and Santa Fe Trail split off. Pa and Ma have already risen with the other wagon train families. They are feeding the oxen and preparing a hot breakfast over the campfire. It's been nearly 50 miles since you, Pa, Ma, and your two Newfoundland dogs, George Washington and King George III, left Independence, Missouri. It was the last major settlement before starting on the Oregon Trail. Pa is a doctor who has received an invitation to help start a practice out in Oregon City. Doctors are desperately needed in the West, and your family couldn't pass up the opportunity. Not only is he the doctor caring for your entire wagon train, but he's also the leader. There are 6 wagons in total. One man, Mr. Mason, is a banker with 2 wagons. Your family owns one, and the other 3 wagons belong to the Whitakers, the O'Neills, and the Joneses. As the wagon train leaders, your family is responsible for making sure everyone gets to Oregon City safely. So far, you've crossed over pleasant, open prairie and gentle hills, but the trail will only get more difficult from here. The stopping points and trading points are few and far between, so you must ration your food and plan your travel route carefully. The land will become rockier and more treacherous, and sudden storms could wipe out your entire wagon train in an instant. Accidents are common on the trail, as well as sickness and even death. You've already been walking nearly 18 miles a day since leaving Independence, but you'd like nothing more than to roll back over and sleep just a few more minutes. Hurry up before breakfast is come and gone. Pa flips the bacon. Up and at 'em. Slug-a-bug didn't even hear the morning bugle. You hear the sizzle of bacon. The delicious smell wafts into your tent. One of your dogs starts whining. Pa laughs. All right, you scoundrel, you'll get your food in a minute. We can't let your dogs get to the food before you. You quickly dress, put away your bedroll, and clamber out of your tent. The grass is soft and green beneath your feet, and bunches of sunny yellow wildflowers sway in the cool April breeze. You know it isn't always going to be this pleasant on the trail, but right now, all you care about is bacon. King George III and George Washington bound up to you, covering you with slobbering licks. You laugh and push them away. I'm awake. I'm awake. You take a seat next to Pa and help him pour cups of coffee for everyone. Ma enters your small camp, pulling your dairy cow behind her. Don't let those dogs near that food. There's plenty of rabbits about. Did Trixie wander off again? You take a bite of bacon. That blasted cow. Ma nods, tying Trixie carefully to the back of the wagon. Sounds like Trixie's the cow, huh? We need to make sure she's always tied up during the night. I don't know how she got free. Don't we have dogs to herd her back in? She shoots a dry look to both the Georges. They just wag their tails. Humph! No tasty bacon for you, lazy hounds. King George plops to the ground with a huff. You slip the massive, shaggy dogs each a half a bacon strip anyway. Their tails wag gratefully. Your ma's right, though. Pa wipes morning dew from his spectacles. Food will get precious up ahead on the trail. We have to make sure we conserve our supplies and plan out exactly what we should ration. You have just over 600 pounds of food on the wagon, 200 for each person. And you'll need to restock at trading posts and hunt where you can. As you sink your teeth into a warm hunk of bread, you grimace at the thought of going months without a big slice of Ma's famous apple pie. Your mouth waters at the thought of dessert. You didn't realize how many things you'd miss until these past few days, but you know that adventure and opportunity lie ahead in Oregon City. As the sun rises over the flat horizon, you help Pa and Ma clean up from breakfast and prepare for the long day's travel ahead. As the only child, it's your responsibility to help feed and care for the animals, cook and clean. You also keep a journal of your time on the trail. You finish your entry from yesterday, which unfortunately isn't that exciting. Dr. Whitaker approaches your campsite. Mrs. Whitaker approaches your campsite. Dr. Howard, Mrs. Howard, good morning. Her husband, Mr. Whitaker, is a skilled carpenter and is expected to be instrumental in fixing broken axles and repairing damaged wheels on the trail. They have 3 children, Annie and Matthew, who are about your age, and a baby named William. Annie and Matthew have daily chores like you, but they also have a horse and some livestock. They get to take turns riding on horseback to herd the loose livestock, including your own cow, Trixie, who always wanders off. You wish you had a horse too. After only a few days of walking, your legs already ache. Good morning, Mrs. Whitaker. Ma grabs the coffee kettle. Care for some? Mrs. Whitaker shakes her head. No, thank you. I'm sorry to disturb you, but I know we need to start moving soon, and I wonder if you've heard the rumors going around. Pa frowns and glances at Ma. What rumors? Ma shakes her head. There's a bad bout of cholera up ahead on the trail. Mrs. Whitaker points. A few families want to try for the Santa Fe Trail instead. Pa adjusts his spectacles. That sounds a bit hasty. We should ask someone who knows the Oregon Trail better than we do. I'm sure we can find a guide among the other wagon trains here before they leave. Mrs. Whitaker puts her hands on her hips. Do you really want to risk it? Pa and Ma look at each other and then turn to you. You're old enough to help make this kind of decision. What do you think we should do? If you want to ask, so this is where I'm asking you a question, okay? You have to leave a comment and tell me what you think. If you want to ask a local Oregon Trail guide about potential sickness ahead, we will turn tomorrow to page 31. If you want to split up and go on the Santa Fe Trail, turn to page 69. So those are our 2 choices, okay? We have to decide which we want to do. If we want to ask a trail guide about the potential sickness, and then we're going to read starting at page 31 tomorrow. If you want to split up and go on the Santa Fe Trail, then we're going to turn to page 69 and start our story there tomorrow. So you got to weigh in and let me know, what do you think we should do in the comments below, okay? Make sure you let me know, 31, 69. What is it that you think we should do?